what a game. No need for confetti when you have toast. What is undoubtedly the best bowl game so far of this season for the college football year. The WKU Hilltoppers pulled off the improbable comeback, beating Old Dominion 38-35 in the first ever famous Toastery Bowl right here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Get the kettle corn out, tune up the band, and turn on the lights because it's finally time for football Friday nights. Football season is finally here. We start in the first quarter with BG up 7-0. Deuce Bailey takes the quarterback read, gets to the outside, whoop, makes that man touch earth and gets its way into the end zone for 6. That play even had me very hyped. Over at Warren East, the Raiders had a chance to capture a district championship for the first time since 1989. In that year, Michael Keaton became the Batman. The Bad Boy Pistons won the NBA championship, and the average rent was only $400. Can we please bring that back? The Lady Purples heard all of the noise, all of the doubters this season, and at the end of the day, Bowling Green wins its 5th straight 4th region championship, resetting the history books as they beat Todd County Central 49-35. The Lady Toppers were back in action this afternoon, looking to right the ship here towards the end of regular season play. Every win is extremely important, and it looked like the Lady Toppers responded swiftly, but I compared this game to Game of Thrones. It was great for 90% of it, and then just completely fumbled at the finish line. It's been 16 years since the Franklin Simpson Lady Wildcats made their way to the KHSAA State Tournament, and the Lady Wildcats had a daunting task ahead of them, taking on one of the top teams in the state in the first round. The name E.A. Diddle is immortalized and will stand the test of time at Western Kentucky University. And to have your name in the same conversation as him means you're not only just a great coach, but a great person as well. And you can add WKU volleyball head coach Travis Hudson to that same conversation because it was announced this past weekend that Coach Hudson will finally be getting a statue in his honor. Now, you didn't just become, the head coach this past week, man. It's been a wild week for you, man. You also became KHSAA Hall of Famer, man. Just kind of talk about that experience and, getting the call or email, whatever it was, knowing that you were going to be inducted all the way up into, finally, having that moment.
Yeah, a wild moment. It's not something I was expecting at all. It has been a busy week for me. But the phone call came from Mr. Julian Tackett himself. He has that honor of calling the inductees. And, it was funny because when my phone rang, I was like, why is Mr. Tackett calling me?
And for our #1 moment of the year, what else could it be? It has been over a decade since the WKU men's basketball team had made the NCAA tournament. And after years of being so close to going back, the Tops won the Conference USA Championship to advance to the big dance under first-year head coach Steve Lutz. The Hilltoppers ended up losing in the first round to Marquette, but the Tops put up a great fight and even led at halftime. So we'll see if they can get back to March Madness this season. With the college football season on the horizon and fall camp currently underway, the WKU Hilltoppers are looking to start out the gates on fire offensively. But it's going to look a little bit different this year. WKU lost the deep threats of Dawood Davis and Jalen Hall, and also lost tight ends Josh Simon and Joey Belgian. In total, those guys amounted for 2,205 yards and 24 touchdowns, accounting for 45% of the offense. Now in the 4th region tournament, Caden Murray was on fire and all 3 games on the mounds, pitching 3 straight days, including a no-hitter in the first game and beating South Warren in the championship game for the Lady Gators to win their first region title in 9 years. It's just something about them Cadens, man. Them Cadens are legends wherever they are. High school lacrosse kicked off its first official season as a KHSAA sport this past week, but the high school teams aren't the only programs kicking off a historic year. The WKU Women's Club lacrosse team is starting its first season as a part of an organized league, playing in the USA Lacrosse League. The team had its first official game last week against Kentucky and is very happy to be playing the game they love on a big stage. The top-seeded Barron County Trojans taking on the Warren East Raiders. The reigning champs trying to repeat in enemy territory, while the Raiders were trying to win the 15th in their first year in it. first quarter, Kaden Merle dumps it off to Kajarius Barber. He gets the bucket and the foul, setting the tone for the Raiders. On the other end, you know who he is, Eli Brooks with the three from the wing. And then Tate Spillman, who may have had the game of his life, knocks down a tray as well. Brendan Bratcher floats a bunny before half as Warren East took a 3-point lead into the locker room. To the fourth we go. Isaiah Andrews swishes it through. And then watch this. Connor Doyle, he fakes the handoff to Andrews and finishes with a tough reverse layup. And then later for Barron County, Aiden Miller ties it up at 52 with that nice mid-range jumper. It turns into a game of free throws. Andrews knocks down both. So the score is 55-52 East. The student section is pumped. It's crazy in there. Then the ensuing possession, Bray Booley finds Spillman wide open in the corner, and he drains the three. Tie game at 55. Andrews gets sent to the free throw line again. He misses the first. He makes the first, misses the second. Eli Brooks has the chance to hit the game winner, but Andrews blocks it. Time runs out on the clock. Fans storm the court, and after another down-to-the-wire game, the Warren East Raiders are district champions again for the first time since 1989, winning 56-55. It's pandemonium in Raider Nation. So like I've been saying over the past couple of days, it's the first time the Tops are back in the big dance in over a decade, about 4,025 days ago. So it got me thinking, what exactly was going on in the world back in the March of 2013? Well, for starters, I wasn't even a teenager yet. I was still in the 7th grade. We were still on the iPhone 4 back then. The iPhone 5 didn't come out until the end of the year in 2013. Fast forward to now, we're on the iPhone 15. RIP Steve Jobs, we miss you. And the Ravens beat the 49ers in the Super Bowl. That's when Beyonce went so hard at the halftime show that the lights got knocked out in the 4th quarter. Oh, and this one's going to hurt Louisville Cardinals fans. Louisville won that year's NCAA tournament, which would later be vacated after their infractions, we'll say. So now 11 years later, the Tops are back in the tournament. Can they make a run? We will find out on Friday. Okay, now today is the day a lot of people have been waiting 10 years for, the official release of College Football 25, aka NCAA 25. Now, I've been playing since Monday, so I wanted to show you all what this game looks and feels like. So, of course, in true WKU fashion, my opponent of choice was 100 miles of hate rival Middle Tennessee. And the details in this game are what stick out to me the most. Howser Smith Stadium looks almost exactly like it does in real life, barring just a few small differences. Plus, you can see all the WKU buildings and architect, including the bell tower in the background. Now, if you look at gameplay-wise, if you play on All-American or Heisman, the two hardest levels, it will take some time to get used to. But like I said, I've been playing for 4 days now, so I'm all right at that a little bit. And I had to carve up the Blue Raiders out here. Most, if not all, members of the WKU roster are in this game. The run game was killer for me in this one. I had over 200 rushing yards with Elijah Young. Don't know the last time WKU did that. That's your look at sports. Everybody have a Miles Morales Monday. Bowling Green Parks and Recreation put on its 50th annual Special Olympics Kentucky Area 5 Spring Games.
This is just a celebration of our community, of Special Olympics athletes, the coaches, the volunteers that make these things possible, and just a fantastic day to just show off the genuine love and joy of life and for sport. And it's just a fun thing to be a part of.
Special Populations Coordinator Cameron Levis has been around the Special Olympics his whole life, and it means the world to him to be able to showcase these athletes.
Adaptive and inclusive recreation and sport is a really big passion of mine. Just giving people with disabilities an opportunity, again, to show off their skills and abilities and give our community an opportunity to focus on a person's abilities and not their disabilities, and really focus on what somebody can do, which is going to help us continue to make a more inclusive and accessible society for people with disabilities.
Noah Button, who participated in 2 events, talked about his excitement for the event and everything leading up to it.
I just won for the 50 meters. I just go fast, and then I go do the shot put, and I go throw it to the ball and land on the ground. Just having fun, just get ready to see Gene Burke, just take pictures of Gene Burke, and then we did do the running and do a shot put, and we just need to take a break.
Levis's goal is for the Bowling Green area to lead the way, accepting and including people with disabilities.
And we want our community to be the standard for what it means for people with disabilities to be included in our everyday life. And so that's what we celebrate every year when we come out here, and we will continue to do that. It's been 50 years. This is the 50th anniversary, and we're going to continue to do it for the next 50 years. And it's going to be exciting to see that continue.
And Noah wanted to leave a special remark to cap off the day.
Exciting.
How big of a smile is on your face.
Yes.
How much fun are we having out here today?
At Bowling Green High School?
We have all the fun out here, don't we?
Yes.
Tell the camera, say, we love Bowling Green, Kentucky.
We love Bowling Green, Kentucky.
And we love Special Olympics.
We love Special Olympics. Reporter Noah for WBKO for reporter. I will get you back for this. Gene?
Reporting from Bowling Green, Kaden Gaylord-Day, WBKO Sports.
Swap out your middles, let's go!
After returning to the head coaching position, Craig Widener has led the Bowling Green Purples back to the boys soccer state tournament. But he isn't the only Widener on the team this year.
Probably having my dad as a coach is hard because, I mean, he's my dad, so.
His son Braden is a sophomore and is a big reason why Coach Widener decided to come back.
Oh, without a doubt. Yeah, I mean, it's, you know, I probably would have applied for the position anyway, but, you know, with him being here, without a doubt, it was a major reason for the desire to come back.
The father and son's duo's shared love for soccer started literally at birth.
Since birth, yeah, I grew up playing soccer. I'll probably play it till the day I die, so. He grew up coaching me, so I love it. He coached me from when I was a little player playing rec to now, so I love it.
It kind of had to, because like I said, the first time I did this, he was born in 2006, the first year that we won state. And as he was growing up, I was coaching club in the off season and coaching high school in the high school season. So if he wanted to hang out with me, it was on a soccer field. He'd come hang out. So he grew up watching Purple soccer. I've got pictures of him on the field when he's 2 years old, kicking around with his sister, all the way up. So he's been out here the entire time.
But just as all parent-child relationships, it's not always easy.
I have coached both of my children since they were 4 years old. And so it's a practice, you know, it can be difficult, but, you know, unless Braden asks me stuff at home, we really don't discuss a whole lot. You know, we try to separate it and compartmentalize. I get to be a dad away from the field, and I get to be a coach on the field, and I think it's probably a little bit tougher from him. Because when I am giving him instructions, oftentimes he hears that coming from dad instead of coach. But you know, for me, I try to allow him to grow up and be his own person. And not only that, I'm in school with him every day. I mean, I see him all the time. So, you know, I just try to compartmentalize and make sure I stick to my roles as best I can.
We can separate him. I mean, once we get here, I know that it's a different. We don't have the same talks here. He has to treat me different because I'm a player, not his son.
Coaching Braden has also made Craig a better coach and a better dad.
Remembering that they are young men and they're going to mess up. And now as my son gets older, you know, I see that every day from him. So even more so, that's helped me understand the rest of the players that, I mean, they're kids. They're going to make mistakes. They're going to do dumb things. They're going to show up late. And it's more important that I help them understand the importance of the reason of being on time and doing their best than it is for me just to get angry and punish them.
From Bowling Green, Kaden Gaylord-Day, WBKO Sports.